Now, listen, you guys, just a little warning. This one is actually going to be a very, very long one because, listen, Nanny, Atlantic seemingly is still obsessed with Nicki Minaj that their executives are even getting caught on camera trying to reach for Nicki Minaj, okay? Now, hello, tea lovers, and welcome to the Tea Plug. I trust you guys are doing well and I trust you are doing great. Personally, I am doing great, you guys. I am doing extremely amazing. And without further ado, let us dive straight into today's tea. So listen, you guys, the main story in this video is about the Atlantic executive who was seemingly caught on camera trying to say something to Nicki Minaj, okay? Now, you guys do know that, well, recently Nicki Minaj has been on tour. She's been doing a thing. Now, there is a video that is actually circulating, especially on TikTok, of Nicki Minaj signing an autograph, and then as she was done signing an autograph, I think I'm just going to insert that video as I'm explaining the scenario to you. Like, as you can see, guys, after Nicki Minaj signed that autograph, there is a giant man, a gigantic man, okay, who's out there trying to say something, or at least who said something to Nicki Minaj as she left the fan. And you can see Kenny trying to go back and be like, okay, what's up, what's tea, and stuff like that. And in that same video, you can as well see Nicki Minaj, dragging Kenny and saying that, you know what, leave them, let's go. So obviously, people, as usual, started to try and look for something negative. Or why would, what was Kenny trying to do? Who is that? What's happening? And I just have to give this person a quick shout out because it seems like they clogged the tea of who that person is, okay? So first of all, allow me, you guys, I'm sorry if I'm taking your time by this, but listen, out of respect for this person who is on Twitter, who I now respect, okay, this was my first time bumping into any of their content, but I'm like, oh my goodness, you are onto something, and that's keeping culture alive. I just want to say kudos to you, okay? You broke this down so nicely, okay? So now fans then realized, I think it was Banji Babi who actually realized that the person that was out there trying to reach Nicki Minaj is none other than it was Banji Barbie, and she's the one who basically realized that, the person was trying to reach for Nicki Minaj is actually an Atlantic executive, allegedly, okay? And his name is Mike Kyser, okay? And he is the president of Black Music for Atlantic Record, okay? So obviously, everyone's question is like, okay, if you are an Atlantic executive for music, what were you trying to say to Nicki Minaj? Were you trying to say something disrespectful? Are you still trying to get Nicki Minaj to be on Atlantic? What's tea? What is happening? All right. So first of all, we're just gonna give you, like, because I know that a lot of people like to say that, oh, these conspiracy theories, oh, there was no H train, but right here I'm coming to you with receipts, okay? Because if you guys remember, BET, if we're going to be honest, was one of the main, platforms that was pushing the agenda of ending Nicki Minaj, in my own opinion, okay? I mean, you could tell their publications, the articles that they wrote, they propelled this entire fake female rap unity. They did it for such a long time. And you know what? There are some people who during that time really did believe that, that is a platform for the people. So really a lot of people would take whatever BET had to say and, they would actually be like, oh, well, that's the truth. Oh, well, that's our platform and stuff like that. So during the time of the H train, that was a pretty powerful platform, if we are going to be honest. And it's also mainstream to a certain extent in as far as black media is concerned. So now, you guys, it gets interesting to the point where there is a video that was posted on Twitter of Lupe Fiasco explaining why he does not like this man named Michael Kyser, okay? And according to Lupe Fiasco, they had an entire incident. And whilst he was narrating that, he also mentioned that, oh, well, you know how record labels, each person has got, a position just because of their connections and their network. And he did mention that, well, this particular guy had connections with a guy on EBT, okay? And this guy's name is TV or something, according to what Lupe Fiasco said, okay? So then that went into tie the relations that this man had with EBT. And if this man was actively trying to push the H train and trying to push the end Nicki Minaj agenda, of course, it forced us to take a look at how EBT has been actively involved, in my own opinion, in this entire H-Train agenda. Now, you guys, if you were not following EBT back in the day, well, EBT was one of the major platforms that was out there spewing nasty, articles about Nicki Minaj, as I'm going to insert right here. I've got a receipt that I got that people were bringing back on Twitter, and this is what the receipt reads, So I was like, finally, this makes a lot of sense, because there's an article that BET wrote, and according to this screenshot that I'm holding, it says that it was from 2019, and the article is titled, The Transformer is the first solo female rapper to win Best Rap Album, and fans are weeping. And then EBT on Twitter captioned that and said, meanwhile, Nicki Minaj is being dragged by her less friend, So now when we tell you that everything has ties in the music industry and it's all about who is allowing the execs to eat from their own process and their own income, we are not playing, Because now, do you now see why, EBT would go out here and try and drag Nicki Minaj each and every chance that they got and try and put, the Transformer on a pedestal? Well, it is because of these ties that you can find in the music industry, Because if this guy was clearly tied to, a guy at EBT, then obviously they would have influence on, whose side EBT is going to take in this entire situation, And that is not all. There's another, recording that I also saw on Twitter when Joe Biden was being annoying, when he was in the forefront of the H train and was pushing this entire mediocre transformer narrative. He was out there calling this particular guy the Mike, basically asking about the transformer and the deal. And this guy was out there saying that, oh, well, she's a superstar, we're going to treat her like the superstar that she is and stuff like that. So you guys, honestly, I do not blame Kenny if you wanted to swing on this guy, because listen, if you were in the forefront of trying to end my wife's career, what gives you the right to try and just ambush my wife and talk to her like that? I mean, if I were Kenny, obviously, I would also react the same way. Now, the big question is, do they still want Nicki Minaj? But, well, it's not even a big question, because I feel like they still do want Nicki Minaj. Given a chance, they would sign her and dish the transformer at any moment. But because Nicki Minaj is not going to allow them to have the massive chunk of her pie, obviously, they wouldn't be there for that, And clearly, I mean, we have been witnessing how the transformer has been struggling. Now she has fallen out of top 30, like just 1 week after it debuted in the top 10. I mean, if I were them, I would also be scrambling, because listen, if Payola cannot save you anymore, then what use are you to the label, except like you're just increasing liability to them? Do you understand what I'm saying? So I still do believe that, well, deep down they want to make amends with Nicki Minaj, and they want to experience and enjoy the benefits of being associated with her in one way or the other. So honestly speaking, I'm not mad at Kenny for wanting to ask this man what is tea. As if that is not even enough, you guys. Listen, this is what Nicki Minaj also said back in the day, and this is according to Complex was now reporting this. That's the screenshot that I have, and Nicki had to say this to the Transformer back in 2018. If I tell you what Mike Kyser said about you, it will be a war. Hashtag Queen Radio, And that was Nicki Minaj basically warning the Transformer to say that, you know what, there's a lot of things that these men that are hyping you say behind your back. And I'm not surprised, because any person can hear this girl cannot rap. I mean, if you don't write, you can't even, enunciate your words properly, and you are a rapper, then what's happening? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like, if you're a normal person, living your life and stuff like that, no one is going to judge you for enunciating your words. No one is going to judge you for pronouncing your words. No one is going to judge you for not writing. But to choose a career as a rapper and you don't even rap and can't rap, can't recite even properly, then obviously people are going to analyze you. And I do believe this is what the man were saying behind her back. The men were actually being honest behind her back, but in front of her, they were out there, gassing her up, telling her you're the superstar and stuff like that. I mean, even Kanye West came out to say that, you know what, she was an industry plant. It means that this conversation was known and people knew that she is an industry plant and she was brought in with the mission to end Nicki Minaj. So when people come in here and try to act like, oh my goodness, this is all a myth, this didn't happen, there was no H train, it becomes very annoying and disappointing. I mean, I get disappointed in the IQ of people who actually come out here to say that, well, there was no H train, because if all these executives were colluding together, and if, platforms, massive platforms that have got impact on hip hop like EBT were choosing sides, then obviously it was not fair for Nicki Minaj. It was not even a plain, field for Nicki Minaj to play in. So the fact that she was able to rise back from that is very, very commendable. And I guess this answers the questions that, these Nicki Minaj hating people say, because you hear people saying that, oh, well, it shouldn't be a surprise that Nicki Minaj is selling out tours. Oh my goodness, she came out way big. And I'm like, it's surprising because she had an entire H train behind her. Do you understand what I'm saying? An entire H train was launched against her. So obviously when she comes out years later and manages to sell out all her tours, so obviously it's going to be an amazing, it's newsworthy because of that. So yeah, let me know, you guys, in the comment section what you think about that. Let me know what you think about these executives' obsession of Nicki Minaj. Do you think that they will one day be able to get Nicki Minaj on their team? And do you think that they are now fed up and tired of the Transformer and her mediocre behind? Let me know about that, you guys, in the comment section. I hope you guys enjoyed this segment. This is just something that I saw on Twitter and I felt like, it's very interesting. And so I decided to just bring in here so that we can have a discussion about it. I mean, yeah. So moving on to the next thing that I'm just going to brush on, and I'm not going to take much time on here. Well, it seems like Beyonce has, announced that, she's actually going to be going on tour for Cowboy Cater. So yeah, let me know, you guys, in the comment section what you think about that. Let me know, do you think that people are going to come out the same way that they came out for Renaissance? Do you think that they will come out the same way for the Cowboy Cater, album and tour? Let me know what you think about that, you guys, in the comment section. Oh my goodness, I forgot to also mention about how this girl is always coming on the internet claiming to have receipts on everyone, and I'm like, if Nicki is sitting, I wanted to talk about this before the Beyonce thing. I'm sorry, this video is just gonna be literally us having a conversation, because some of the things are coming in after I'm done talking about the issue. But anyway, I wanted to say, do you guys now see that this girl is always coming out saying that she has receipts on everyone? Oh my goodness, I will expose you and stuff like that. And I do believe that Nicki is sitting on a lot of information that she hasn't even released. I mean, if Mike was speaking ill of this girl behind her back and being transparent and honest enough to say that she's not talented, then with her fragile ego, with her fragile confidence, the moment that Nicki Minaj decides to speak out about what these executives were saying in her ear when they were trying to get in bed with her, obviously, she would literally lose it. She would have a mental breakdown, because I know she cannot handle that, because she hasn't been exposed to actual scrutiny that every other normal rapper can actually be exposed to, because when she came out, they were handling her with kid gloves. So if Nicki Minaj does come out to say all the things that the execs were saying to her when they were still trying to get in bed with her, obviously it would be wild here on the streets. So I hope she plays nice when it comes to Nicki Minaj, because listen, if your record and your payola that you're bragging with is something that you're not even sure you still have, if I were here, I would literally be careful about trying to mess with Nicki Minaj, because at this point it has been proven. I mean, if one can go against industry-wide payola and mainstream propaganda, then she's a champion, you guys. Allow us to take a moment of silence for Onika Tanya Mirage, for beating the industry machine, the mainstream propaganda, because no one would have been able to do that. No one would have been able to survive what that lady went through. Imagine people, female rappers, coming together and holding a mock funeral for you. And you guys, people try to make it seem like it didn't happen. It happened. And this woman survived it and is still performing at 16 consecutive sold out tours. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I will hit my exit. Okay, with this, you guys, I will drop my mic and I will catch you in my next video where we actually discuss more about a wide variety, like a wide range of topics. This one, it was basically about, you know, the fact that these guys are still you know, obsessed with Nicki Minaj, and the fact that he was even there. I'm like, what are you doing at a Nicki concert, boy? What are you doing there? Anyway, let me know about that in the comment section. But thank you very much, you guys, for watching, and thank you very much for making it this far. If you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button and do turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified each and every time that I post. We are on the road to 5,000 subscribers, but first let's stop by 13. So if you are watching my channel for the second time and you have made it this far, it means you can tolerate my accent and you can actually understand what I'm saying. So that being said, what is stopping you from subscribing? Anyway, I missed you guys so much during the past during the past week. We are back at posting 3 times a day like we always have been. So if you don't see 3 videos a day, it means that YouTube is now playing with me yet again. So what that means is that please do come and refresh this channel time and again, just so you will not miss anything. And I'm also going to insert that Lupe Fiasco video where, you know, he's out there talking to Joe Biden. Talking to Joe Biden. And let me know, you guys, what you think about that. Until my next one, see you.
Like Atlantic
How do you have a beef with Kyser?
Huh?
How do you have a beef with Kyser?
Because when I had pneumonia, a lot of what people are dying from right now with this COVID-19 situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I had pneumonia at the end of the Cool tour. And I was instructed by my doctors, like I could have died. And the doctors told me, you can't fly. Right? And, you know, it wasn't me punt faking. It's like the doctor said, if you get on a plane, you might die. So Mike Kyser was the dude who had the link at BET. So everybody has their position at a label for various reasons. They might have a link to MTV. They might be the man at this, the man at that. So Mike was the man at BET. So him and what's the bald head dude name at BET?
The bald head dude at BET.
What's his name? The head of BET, not Deborah.
Oh, you talking about Steven? Steven.
So they were doing fucking Spring Bling. Bullshit ass Spring Bling. I think something was popping. I think Superstar was popping. And they wanted me to go to Spring Bling down in, I think, Panama City or Daytona Beach, whatever the fuck it was, to do Superstar. Just that song and leave for their Project Runways, whatever the fuck it was. And I was like, yo, my doctor told me not to fly, man. You know, like, no disrespect. You know, I love BET. I fuck with it. And I guess Kyser and fucking Steven had their little powwow. This nigga Kyser called me, tell me, if you don't get on the plane and fly down here to Spring Bling, BET's not gonna play anymore your music or your videos.
Yeah.
Right? So that's one.
But wait, Nick, yeah.
Yeah.
See,
nigga,
that's my point about you, man.
So peak game. So it's like, you want me to risk my life to fly down to Daytona Beach to do one song, and that's it. And if I don't do it, you're not going to support or play any of my music.
I quickly learned that that's how this works.
Yeah, so I don't fuck with Mike Kyser. That and for other reasons. I don't fuck with Craig for deeper, darker, dirtier fucking reasons. And the same thing with Mike Karen. But that's just 3 specific